So there were five authors of this proximal origin paper. Four of those five authors had been for the last 2 decades writing other origin papers. So people don't know this. I compiled them all together, but I think we talked about this briefly before, where four out of the five authors of that paper had previously authored literal origin papers, so that with the same concept of framing the debate around where a pathogen came from. These same authors, Robert Gary, Christian Anderson, Andrew Rambo, and then, well, my brain's dying on the other ones. And then, in addition to that, they had people like Jeremy Farrar and Anthony Fauci who were also writing these. But amongst the pathogens they wrote origin papers for included HIV, Gulf War syndrome, Zika virus, H1N1, and MERS, and Ebola. So the Ebola Zaire outbreak that took place in 2014, they were involved in writing that. And two of those authors, Christian Anderson and Robert Gary, they were co-leaders of something called the Viral Hemorrhagic Fever Consortium, which was running a lab in Kanema, Sierra Leone in 2013 and 2014. And magically, that lab was basically at the geographic center of the Ebola outbreak. Now, they claim that the outbreak started like, I want to say 150 kilometers to the northwest or northeast in Ghana next door. However, for reasons that were never explained in public, in May of 2014, so not long after the first official cases of Ebola came out, the government of Sierra Leone kicked out the Robert Gary in particular, and they forced out Robert Gary, who was working at Tulane, Christian Anderson's group, and Metabiota. So Metabiota being the pandemic data analysis firm that was gathering a bunch of samples from around the world with these other groups, and whom Hunter Biden was, through his Rosemont Seneca firm, was one of the main investors into it. So, and that goes into, ties into Ukraine biolabs as well. But nonetheless, so all these bad actors who were right at the scene of different crimes and wrote the narratives later in 2020 were tasked by the exact same people, were tasked by Anthony Fauci to write the narrative on where the COVID outbreak came from. So right off the bat, you can see that there's a 20-year record of the same exact people covering up NIH's messes all around the world and spinning the outbreaks as a way to justify further funding for their vaccine or their therapeutics.
If you liked this video, check out the full interview. Also, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you get notified every time a new video is uploaded. Thanks for watching.